Hey guys, I pulled our numbers from last year and you might be kind of surprised to see what our sales prices are year over year. Hey guys, it's Erica Galinas with That Properties Real Estate here for our monthly market update. This week we are talking about Dyer, Indiana. I have the numbers for the month ending in December, and we've kind of been keeping track over these different towns to see, are we at the beginning of the end of the real estate market? Is it all bad? Is it really good news? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So let's see what we got. So for the month ending in December, in the town of Dyer, and this is all, condos, mansions, the whole thing, there were 22 units of real estate sold in the town for a total of $6.7 million, which gives us an average sales price of about $306,000. And again, there weren't really any $1 million home sales. There's 2 new constructions, so it's mostly existing homes, 5 condos, 17 single family homes. So kind of a nice spread there in terms of what's selling. Obviously, condos and townhomes are a little less expensive than, a 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot house. But the average price, it averaged out about $306,000. Average days on market, 29 days, which is still a really solid number. Again, we've always been used to these, 7 days on the market, 3 days on the market, not even on the market. 29 days is still a very good number. Sales to list price, so what it sold for versus what it was originally listed at, is about 96%, which again, gone are the days of 100%, 102%. That's all gone. 96% is still a really, really good number for sales to list price percentage. Compared to November 2022, that's right, it's 2023 now. So compared to November 2022, we sold 35 units in Dyer for a total of about $11.1 million, which gives us an average sales price in November of $317,000. So average sales prices went down month over month, $11,000. Honestly, that's barely a blip on the radar. That doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. So it looks like things are pretty strong and sturdy. Average days on market in November, 24 days. So again, almost the same as 29 days. Not really a big difference in the grand scheme of things. So in Dyer, we'll talk about now active listings. We've seen in, particularly last week, the one I did for Munster, days on market for active listings seems to be getting longer and longer and longer. Is that a function of it being a slow time of the year? Is it a function of, sellers want too much money, buyers are staying home? Probably a combination of all of those things. Like I said, I pulled the numbers from last year's sales, so we'll kind of see where they compare, see how different they are. But active listings right now in Dyer, we have 44 active listings, 36 existing homes, only 8 new construction. We've talked about in the past how Dyer's kind of running out of land for new construction, so that's not surprising. 35 single family homes, 9 condos and townhouses. Again, Dyer, they have some of the newer construction, patio homes, things like that. Those aren't really hitting the market. They don't really have as much, townhome and condo activity as Cherville, Munster, stuff like that. So again, that number seems totally fine. Of those active listings, the average listing price, again, we won't have sales price till they close, but the average listing price is $382,000. So, we see that big gap there in terms of, 306 was the average sales price last month. Average listing price is $80-some thousand more. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. And more importantly, we're going to have to keep an eye on average days on market for active listings is 86 days, which even in a buyer's market, that's kind of a long time. Like, what's going on there? So I looked, and there's a $1 million homes. There's actually 6 or 7 of them priced at like $1 million plus, including that $6.9 million custom French chateau somebody wants to build in Briar Ridge. We'll see, how long that stays on the market. But to be fair, I pulled those $1 million homes out of that average days on market just because, it's a smaller buyer pool. They're often very unique homes. They tend to sit on the market. So I pulled all of those out of there to see where we go from this 86 days on market. And that dropped us down to 71 days on market, which is still significant. Again, in a seller's market, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days on market, that's just as abnormal over the past couple years as a 71 days on market, 86 days on market. 2 months, when you're sitting on the market for 2 months, there's probably a problem with your price, barring some, bizarre economic circumstance. Probably priced a little too high, and we might see that reflected in that average listing price of that $386,000 versus the sales price at the $306,000. Sellers we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens in the spring, but sellers may have to start dropping those prices. We've seen the same thing in Cherville. We saw the same thing in Munster. We'll probably see the same thing next week in Crown Point. This is just how the market is right now. And again, perhaps a function of it being wintertime, perhaps a function of it, having tremendous interest rate increases and buyers are kind of freaked out right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. Pending listings in Dyer. So these are ones that were listed, haven't closed yet because they're doing title work and home inspections and everything else. Only 22 pending listings in Dyer, which is the same as what we sold in December. So it's not an outlier number, but only 22 in all of Dyer is kind of strange. Dyer's a pretty big place with lots of different kinds of real estate. So we'll see. 22, average price on those, $350,000. So it's almost exactly in between where we are in terms of these high listing prices and these actual closed prices. We'll see these start to filter through over the next month or so to see if we're closing closer to the 350 or if those prices are coming down to the more 306 range. It would be bizarre to lose $50,000, but we might see it closer to 320 or 330 or something because these sellers are starting to accept price reductions. Average days on market, 50 days. Again, kind of in between-ish, 71 days and 29 days. So this is kind of a nice midpoint right now. Again, December, not a lot of house sales. It's the holidays and everything. We'll keep an eye on it to see if it sticks closer, goes back down to that 29 days, or if it starts to hit that 71 days and up and up and up. Only one new construction, so 21 existing houses, 18 single family homes and 4 condos. So again, that's a pretty, slice right through the middle there. This is a nice average representation. So maybe this 350 gives us a nice average representation of sales going forward. So it's tricky right now this time of year to figure out exactly what's going on in terms of maybe a buyer slowdown, in terms of, the holiday market waiting for spring, all of those kinds of things. So in Cherville, Munster, we talked about these numbers. We'll probably do it for Crown Point as well. I went back and looked at the December 2021 numbers for the town of Dyer to compare them with 2022 to see if we can find an indication of just a holiday market or, impending apocalypse of house prices. So here's what we came up with. December 2021, total units sold, 36. Total volume sold, $11.1 million. Average sales price, $308,000. Days on market, 16 days. So comparing that to December 2022, we sold exactly the same volume. The average list price was only $2,000 less than it was in December 2021. Days on market is the biggest difference, 16 days versus 29 days, which kind of indicates slowdown of buyer activity year over year. But again, 29 days is actually a very good number. So I don't know that these numbers, again, indicate some impending doom in the real estate market. I've looked at these now in Cherville. We've looked at them in Crown Point. We've looked at them here now in Dyer. None of these numbers are showing any huge, horrible nightmare scenario for the real estate market. Honestly, I really, really think what's going on right now is that it's just the holidays and kind of a stressful holiday more than normal just because of all the unpleasantness that happened. And, everybody's, there's uncertainty with, eggs are now $8 a cart. Like there's all these things going on. Everybody's just kind of sitting on their hands for now. Prices haven't dropped tremendously because the sellers aren't listing right now. Prices haven't gone up tremendously because the buyers aren't buying right now. It's just all kind of in between. So we are really going to have to wait. I know this is anticlimactic, but we really just have to wait to see what's going to happen in the spring market. When that starts, March 1st, sometimes depends on weather. It depends on where Easter falls every year because, that changes around. We won't really have an indication in any of these towns about new construction, about small condos, about $1 million homes, about Dyer versus Crown Point versus Munster versus Lowell. We won't really have any idea about any of those numbers until the spring. It's a shame because I am getting just a part of conversation or from clients, hey, how's the market? What's going to happen? Because we're all hearing about this. Nobody really has any information. We can predict things all day. My personal prediction is that we're going to go down slightly, but we're still going to be A-okay. Sellers will still be doing well. Buyers will have more flexibility in their prices, which is good news. but we just have to wait and see. So I will keep you obviously updated on Dyer. Next week, I'm going to do a video, weekly market update of Crown Point, where we cover both Winfield and Center Township, because those are such kind of different real estate markets. Please, if you have any questions, like I said, I work in Dyer all the time, Schererville, Munster, pretty much anywhere in Lake or Porter County. Give me a call or text me anytime. 219-765-2062. If you prefer, if it's easier, send me an email at hsbyerica@gmail.com. That stands for Home Sales by Erica. Please comment on this video. Are you looking to buy in Dyer? Are you looking to sell in Dyer? Do you have just kind of general questions or something like that, or an experience you had recently? Go ahead and comment down below. I love to take a look at those, and then we can kind of share those with the community. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Again, if you're just interested in what the market's doing, if you're thinking about selling or buying, please subscribe. I do these market updates once a week. Next week, like I said, we're talking about Crown Point. So you'll kind of get notifications of those as well. And then obviously, share this video if you know somebody who's going through the buying or selling process, particularly in Dyer. I'm sure they'd be glad to know this. So thanks so much, guys, and I will see you next week.